The winds changed, and it blew me off course to the south. When I was 16 years old, I was a student pilot working on my private pilot's license, and as part of the training, I had to go on what's called a solo cross country. That meant that I had to, as a student, get in the airplane by myself, no flight instructor. It was a tiny little airplane, two-seater, and there was no GPS back in those days. I had to draw out a course line on a map, and I basically used compass and what we call dead reckoning to navigate. That meant that I had to look for landmarks along my route, and it was done with time distance heading. That's how we got to where we wanted to go. And my flight instructor did not check behind me. On the second leg, my course line was right around the southernmost part of the map, just along the edge of the map, and I did not have the adjoining map to the south. And being a 16-year-old, I didn't really think about what could happen. Well, as I was on that second leg of my route, of my flight, the winds changed, and it blew me off course to the south, and it blew me off the map. So when I was looking down, I did not recognize the things that I was seeing on the ground were not correlating with the things I was seeing on the map. And I knew I was off course. I wasn't sure what had happened, but I looked up to the northeast and I saw a little town through the haze on the horizon. And I looked at the map and I saw a little town on the edge of the map, and it was called Pembroke. I could read the name Pembroke. And I said, I wonder if that town I see up there is Pembroke. And so I headed over to that town, and I got down really low, and I slowed my airplane down, and I circled the water tower, and I read the name of the town on the water tower, Pembroke. And I'm like, yeah, I know where I am now. And I was getting close to Savannah, Georgia, which was my second stop. And so I climbed up to altitude, and I called Savannah Approach Control, told them where I was, who I was, and they gave me radar vectors into Savannah, and then I completed my journey from there. So why am I telling you this story? Because I want you to understand that along your family recovery journey, there will be things that will come up. The winds could change along the way. The winds could change and blow you off course. Storms will come up, right? Big storms. Different things can happen. You may have like a mechanical failure with your airplane, and you can correlate that to whatever's going on in your family. But things will happen. And you know what? I was committed to my destination. I know a lot of people think that pilots carry around parachutes on their back, but that's only in the military, like fighter jets, things like that. Pilots don't typically fly around with parachutes. That means that there's not an unlimited supply of fuel. That means that at some point you're going to land one way or another. You're coming down, and you'd prefer to land at your destination. So you're committed to your destination one way or another. And sometimes the weather's bad at your destination. You have to pick an alternate. But it's usually an alternate that's not too far away. So you're committed. You're committed. That's my point. So I want you as a parent, as the parent of a son or daughter battling drug or alcohol addiction, I want you to be committed to the process and committed to the destination of family recovery. Family recovery. Only when you're committed to family recovery will you have the chance of true success.